Hey folks, welcome back to True Crime Stories, where we cover the most thrilling true crime stories. Before we get going, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for me. Thanks. And now let's get into today's story.
Welcome to another deep dive with us. We're headed to Ashford.
Ashford.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
charming coastal town, known for its art scene.
Mm-hmm.
But just days before their big art showcase, a fire engulfs the studio of prominent local artist Margot Simmons.
Oh.
And it's not looking like an accident.
What makes this case so interesting is that we're not dealing with just random destruction.
Yeah.
The evidence very clearly points to arson.
Oh, wow, so arson.
Yeah.
Multiple points of origin.
Exactly.
Paint thinner was used as an accelerant.
It's a very calculated attack.
So it really feels like someone is making a statement here?
Absolutely. And figuring out the why is what's so fascinating about this case.
So let's put ourselves in Ashford.
Okay.
It's a Friday evening. The sun is setting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this warm glow over the art district.
I can picture.
People are out enjoying the gallery crawl,
Yeah.
checking out the artwork, meeting other art enthusiasts.
Right.
When suddenly
Oh.
smoke starts billowing from Margot Simmons' studio.
Oh, no.
Alarms are blaring and panic erupts.
What a scene.
It's pure chaos.
Yeah. You've got this contrast of beauty and chaos.
Yeah.
You know, the tranquility of the art scene just
Right.
totally disrupted.
And then you've got fire trucks racing through the street,
Sirens blaring.
firemen rushing into the burning building.
It's like a movie.
And poor Margot is frantically trying to save what she can of her artwork.
Oh, gosh.
It's utter devastation. And it's into all this chaos
Yeah.
that our fire investigator, Claire Dubois, steps in.
She's got quite a job ahead of her.
Yeah, she's driven and meticulous and brought in to determine the cause,
Right.
but she has a personal connection to fire tragedies.
Oh, really?
So, that adds a whole other layer to the investigation.
Yeah.
We've also got Walter Finch, the seasoned fire chief.
Okay.
He's seen a lot of fires,
Yeah.
but even he admits this one feels different.
Interesting.
The intensity, the burn patterns,
Mm-hmm.
it's setting off alarm bells.
So Finch, is he kind of like nearing retirement?
Yeah, he's getting ready to retire.
A little disillusioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skeptical about having an outside investigator,
Understandable.
but he can feel the gravity of the situation.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk suspects.
Ooh, the good part.
In a town as tight-knit as Ashford, everybody knows everyone.
Right.
So the suspect pool is very interesting.
No.
The list is long.
Lay it on me.
We've got some colorful characters,
Yeah.
each one with their own connection to Margot
Mm-hmm.
and the art scene. First up, we have Robert Ferris,
Okay.
the thrill seeker.
Oh,
He's fascinated by fire,
interesting.
has been seen around Margot's studio.
Uh-oh.
His alibi checks out,
Yeah.
but there's this suspicious gap in his timeline.
So he's drawn to danger, but is it just curiosity or is
Right.
it something darker?
Then there is Amelia Hart.
Okay.
She's an aspiring artist who idolized Margot.
Mm-hmm.
She practically worshipped Margot,
Wow.
but she also felt stifled by Margot's success.
Oh, so some resentment there.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was known to follow Margot around,
Sure to
trying to study her techniques and emulate her style.
The art world can be so competitive.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure to succeed can really be immense.
Yeah. And sometimes that admiration can turn into envy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
especially when you're overshadowed by your idol.
Next, we have Walter Finch,
Oh,
our fire chief.
yeah.
Remember, he had artistic aspirations of his own,
Right.
but never pursued them. He's openly frustrated with artists and their disregard for fire safety.
Yeah.
But there's also this resentment, like a longing for that creative life.
He's a very interesting character.
Yeah, you get that sense he's drawn to the artistic world, but he's supposed to protect against it.
Right.
Then we have Melody Diaz, the curator of the upcoming art showcase.
Okay.
She had some creative differences with Margot,
Really?
and it caused some tension.
Mhm.
She claims she was in meetings all evening,
Okay.
but she can't provide any proof.
Oh.
So her alibi is a little shaky.
Makes sense.
And lastly, we have Deacon Reynolds, the older established artist.
Okay.
He's the old guard of the Ashford art scene. Had a long-standing rivalry with Margot.
No.
Saw her as a threat.
Wow.
His alibi for the night of the fire is a meeting that ended early.
Okay.
But he's known to be a bit elusive.
A bit secretive.
Yeah, so it's hard to verify his whereabouts.
Right.
So we have a fire,
Mm-hmm.
a prominent artist whose studio is in ashes,
Mm-hmm.
and a town full of suspects
Each with their own secret.
and motives,
And Clara is right in the middle of it.
determined to find the truth.
In a town where everybody knows each other,
Yeah.
that can't be easy.
Not at all. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Ashford arson case.
We've got a lot of suspects to sort through.
We do, And each one seems to have their own reasons.
Yeah, Clara's really doing a great job, piecing together those timelines, analyzing the forensics, talking to everyone.
It's in those interviews that things start to get really interesting.
Yeah, those one-on-one conversations can be so revealing.
So let's start with Robert Ferris, our thrill seeker.
Right. The one fascinated by fire.
He claims to have been at a bar with friends the night of the fire.
Uh-huh.
But when Clara asks about that gap in his timeline,
Yeah, that suspicious gap.
his answers get a little evasive.
He's hiding something.
Oh, yeah.
I think, so you can just tell in those little details.
Right.
Like the hesitation in the voice,
Mhm.
the look in their eyes.
And then we have Amelia Hart, our aspiring artist,
The one who idolized Margot.
but felt overshadowed.
Right.
Her alibi changed multiple times.
Oh, really?
And each time Clara finds inconsistencies.
So she's getting caught in her own lies.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how that happens, right?
Yeah.
The more you lie,
Yeah.
the harder it is to keep track of it all.
What about Walter Finch, our fire chief?
Right, he's got that solid alibi because he was on duty,
Right.
but there's just something about his attitude towards those artists.
Yeah, that disdain, the envy.
It's almost like he's drawn to their world,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also pushing it away.
Okay, Melody Diaz, the curator.
The one with the creative differences with Margot first.
Yeah, she insists. She was in meetings all evening,
Okay.
but can't provide any proof.
No notes, no emails.
No witnesses.
It's a bit suspicious.
Definitely a red flag.
Then we have Deacon Reynolds.
Our older artist,
Yeah. Who saw Margot as a threat.
right?
He claims he was at a meeting that ended early.
Okay.
But his alibi relies on his word alone. And he's so secretive.
Yeah, makes it hard to verify.
So Clara has got a lot on her plate.
She does?
She has to figure out which of these little things
Mm.
are going to lead her to the truth.
It's a real puzzle.
Oh, yeah?
But thankfully, she catches a break.
Oh, really?
Remember all that security camera footage she was reviewing?
Hours of footage?
Yeah, well, in
I
one
had
clip,
that.
she spots someone leaving a cafe
Okay.
near Margot's studio,
Interesting.
just minutes before the fire.
And who is it?
It's Amelia Hart.
Amelia.
Remember, she said she was at home working?
Right.
But this footage puts her right at the scene,
Because she lied.
and her alibi falls apart.
Oh.
So Clara decides to confront her.
Oh, this is going to be good.
She goes to the police station, lays out all the facts,
She's going to expose Amelia's lies.
and she shows her the security camera footage.
I can't imagine being in Amelia's shoes right now.
No.
Caught red-handed.
Of course, Amelia tries to deny it,
What did she say?
that she just went for a walk,
A walk.
that she never went near the studio.
But Clara knows better.
Oh, she sees right through
The
her.
footage,
You know.
the inconsistent alibis.
It all adds up.
Yeah.
So Clara leans in, and she says, Amelia, I understand that you admired Margot,
Mm-hmm.
but you also felt overshadowed by her. You were frustrated, angry, and sometimes those feelings can lead us to do things we never thought we were capable of.
She's appealing to Amelia's conscience.
Yeah.
Wow, powerful stuff.
And Amelia breaks down.
Oh, wow.
She confesses it
Yeah,
all.
the envy, the resentment.
Everything.
It's a classic confession.
Yeah, born out of desperation.
And shame.
But there's a chilling detail in her confession.
What's that?
She didn't just vandalize the studio, she set it on fire.
She actually set the fire.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an accident. It was deliberate.
It was
That's
deliberate,
awesome.
and she describes it in detail.
That's chilling.
It sends chills down your spine.
So the police arrest Amelia for aggravated arson.
And just like that, the case is closed.
Well, we like to dig a little deeper here.
Right, because even when a perpetrator is caught,
There are still consequences.
and questions that remain. Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, we've been talking about the Ashford arson case.
Right.
Uncovered motives, looked at the evidence,
Mm-hmm.
even heard that confession from Amelia.
Right.
But now we got to talk about what happens next.
Yeah, the impact of all of this goes way beyond just the arrest.
So let's start with Amelia. She's facing some serious charges.
Aggravated arson.
Yeah. And the trial
Yeah,
is pretty somber.
I bet.
The prosecution lays out their case, emphasizing the planning, the accelerants.
It's the fact that she put lives at risk.
Exactly. And it's like this stark contrast, between this vibrant art scene
Mhm.
and this act of destruction.
It really forces the community to look at this darker side of things.
The defense, though, they're trying to present Amelia as this young woman who was overwhelmed by all the
Yeah.
pressure,
Mm-hmm.
that she didn't really mean to do it.
Right.
They point to her confession and the remorse she showed
Yeah.
as evidence that she could be rehabilitated.
So the legal system has to weigh all of that.
Yeah.
Look at her actions, but also try to understand why she did it.
In the end, The jury finds her guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah, and the judge sentences her to prison.
Wow. So that brings some legal closure.
It does.
But it doesn't really address all the feelings that are still raw in Ashford.
The art community feels betrayed.
Yeah.
They're questioning everything.
This act really exposed a lot of the vulnerabilities in the community.
And this is where Claire Dubois, our fire investigator,
Yeah.
really steps up.
In what way?
Well, remember, she's been confronting her own issues throughout the investigation.
Right.
She becomes this advocate for healing.
That's great.
She starts organizing workshops and support groups.
So that artists can connect.
Yeah, and talk about the pressures they face,
Yeah.
the anxieties, the emotional burdens.
It's so important to have those spaces.
Yeah, to feel supported.
And understood.
Exactly. And then there's Margot Simmons, the victim.
Right. She lost everything.
Her studio, her work years of her life.
Devastating.
But the community rallies around her.
They do.
They decide to go ahead with the annual art showcase.
Oh, wow. That's great.
But they're turning it into this symbol of resilience.
I love that.
Artists donate their work
Mm-hmm.
to help rebuild Margot's studio
Wow.
and to create a fund for other artists in need.
What a powerful response.
It really is. It shows how a community can come together in a crisis.
Exactly.
And Amelia, she starts her own journey while in prison.
What kind of journey?
She gets involved in art therapy,
Oh, wow.
uses her art to work through her emotions.
It's amazing how art can be so healing.
It really is. It shows that even in the darkest places,
Yeah.
people can change.
Right.
So the Ashford arson case,
Yeah.
it's a story about a lot of things.
Ambition.
Envy, betrayal,
But also resilience.
and ultimately the power of community.
It's a reminder that darkness can exist anywhere.
But so can hope.
And the strength to overcome adversity.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the Ashford arson case.
It's been a fascinating journey.
If you're interested in learning more,
Check out our show notes.
where we've got links to more information,
And until next time, stay curious.
and keep exploring.